Married to the DIY, baby. Got so discouraged because truthfully, I don't know what I'm doing. Hello again, friends. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kim, and today is episode 2 of our entryway makeover. So before we start with today's video, let's do a little recap from what happened last week. So we bought cabinetry, we did a little hack for the shelving, we repaired and we patched up the walls, and we also did a little something to spice up the glass cabinet doors. So if you want to go ahead and watch that first episode, make sure to do so. I'll leave a little card up here so that you can get all caught up for today's video. So today we're going to be doing a little bit more of the aesthetic portion of decorating that front entryway, except for one more functional DIY, which is a little cabinet junk drawer. So I wanted a little shallow drawer for the entryway as a little bit of a catch-all for all of our work related things. So a lot of the stuff is just pens, IDs, our wallets, our keys, and stuff like that. If I wanted to make it a little less harder on myself, I probably would just put like a little trinket tray on the entryway where you can throw all your stuff in. But for me personally, as much as possible, I like to hide all of my mess. So I feel like having a little junk drawer that is easily accessible in the front entryway is like the best solution. That way my counter for the entryway will just be literally decorations and nice pretty things. And if you're asking me why I didn't just buy like a shoe cabinet with drawers for the entryway, it's because I couldn't find any that was my style and also in my price range, and a lot of them are a little bit more on the smaller side. So when I saw the IKEA cabinets, I just knew that I had to get them for the entryway and figure out a way around the things that I want. So that's why all of these customizations and DIYs come into play. Since I'm making the addition at the top part of the cabinet, I do have to add spacers on either side of the drawer so it won't hit the door hinge or the actual doors. I'm using a 2x2 cut to size on either side. I measured where I wanted the drawers to sit, and in my case, this was 2.5 inches below the ceiling of the cabinet. I marked it and screwed it into place. Then, once I had all my measurements accounted for, I drilled the drawer slides into place as well. I did this first before making the drawer because this is my first time doing anything of this sort and wanted to get the actual measurement between the drawer slides to cut the dimensions of the drawer accurately. I don't know what I'm doing. Woo! 45 degrees. Now I just need to do it on the other side. So I did it! 45-degree angles. This is beautiful. Exactly 2 inches. Side drawers. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna be really sad. Little update in this whole DIY drawer situation. I filmed like the first part of it, but then I very easily got so discouraged because truthfully, I don't know what I'm doing. I watched one singular video and thought that I was an expert or whatever, but I did it! I made a little drawer out of scrap wood. This is scrap wood from flooring. A lot of it was like carpet and I didn't like the vibe, so I ripped all the carpet out and then did the flooring myself with the help of my brother and my husband. And this is the subfloor that I use. Didn't do the math right and ordered more than I needed, but it came to good use. So this is the subfloor of my house, reimagined. Now it's gonna be a nice little drawer for my entryway. So isn't that nice? I think this is like a 1/4 inch plywood that I had. I mitered all of the sides because it was thin. Tried to use pocket holes, did not work. So what I did is I cut all the sides in 45-degree angles and then used wood glue, clamped it with like a 90-degree angle, and then put brad nails to secure it while it was drying up. So basically this whole thing is being held by wood glue. Did a lot of wood filler and sanding just to make it as flat as smooth of a surface as I could. Obviously, I couldn't get it like fully flat because it is plywood. I just made do with what I had, and I feel like I'm very proud of this drawer. It looks pretty good for like a DIY. The only thing is I don't like this front piece, and I want like a little accent to it. That way it looks cute. So, little spoiler alert, I am gonna make countertops, and the countertop material is this. So I'm gonna use this, stick it on the front of my drawer so that it's a little bit more cohesive with the countertop. I think it's gonna look cute. The next project is the countertop. I didn't want to keep the top of the middle cabinets bare and wanted to create a centerpiece that really catches your attention when you walked into the house. I knew marble or quartz slabs would be out of the question because I couldn't find any on Facebook Marketplace. They were so out of my price range, and I didn't want the entryway to look like it's part of the kitchen. I really had to think outside of the box on this one. I had kept parts of an old IKEA bed frame, which is what you see here. It worked out perfectly for this space. I cut it to the length of the countertop and dry fitted it into place. I didn't like how far it jutted out, so I measured about 1 inch of an overhang and cut it into size. I also cut a little piece off the front sides of the MDF board to account for the side pieces I was going to place there. I secured this into place with heavy-duty Velcro because I didn't want to ruin the tops of the cabinets just in case I needed to use them for something else in the future. I decided I wanted to use peel and stick kitchen backsplash tiles for this project because it was much easier to use and very affordable. Now, I wouldn't use this material on high traffic countertops such as a dinner table or kitchen counters because this tile is not meant for this function, and I'm not sure how well it would hold moisture. But because this area is strictly for display, I knew it was going to hold up nicely. I love this tile I bought off of Amazon for its arched design, which really helped break the blockiness of the cabinets and added a little nice detail to the space. I don't think I'd be linking these though because although the design is nice, a lot of the tiles came with cracked edges that I was thankfully able to work around. I cut it to the design pattern I wanted and carefully stuck it into place. If you will be using this, be careful because it's really sticky, and once it touches the surface, you can no longer move it. For the end pieces, I sanded it to a 45-degree angle so it would fit nicely on the edge. I did this for the drawer as well. But for the front edge of the counter, I knew that the 45-degree angle wouldn't be durable enough, so I took a thin trim and cut it to size. I spray painted it a mix of brass and gold and sealed it with a polyurethane I already had in hand. Once everything was dry, I glued it into place with a strong industrial adhesive. Another great way to elevate your furniture pieces is to accessorize them. I bought these beautiful handles on Amazon and will be linking them down below for you guys. I didn't have a jig to drill the cabinet holes with, so I had to improvise. I used a piece of painter's tape and used the edge of the tape as a guide to the edge of the cabinet door. From there, I just measured how far from the edge I wanted the handle to be and measured the distance between the top and the bottom holes and marked them where they would be. I also used a laser level to make sure I didn't have crooked handles. So this is where this is gonna go. I just need to hang it up. You don't actually need a drill for this one. This one, you just screw this into the drywall with a regular screw, and then you screw this one on after. So it's fairly simple. All right, so I have a little thrift store haul. I went to like 3 thrift stores yesterday. I got a couple things. I got these 2 jars for $40 at an antique shop. It's an antique shop that me and my dad went to when they were here visiting, and my dad is really into antiques, so he bought like a lot of stuff there when he came over, like a lot of things, like a lot of stuff. And I remember when we were buying those antiques for him, what he bought was like a little bit on the pricier side, and I said to myself, and I told them, well, once I start decorating the house, I also want to buy something from this antique shop, and I specifically wanted those jugs. And so I went back there and I bought them. And then when I went there, I said hi to the cashier, and I think he's the owner. I was like, oh my gosh, do you remember us? Like, we were here 2 months ago buying all of the stuff here. And then he was like, yeah, your dad, da 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 da. And then so he gave me a $10 discount. So from 50 it went down to 40, and he gave me this random ring. At the counter, he was like, does this fit your little finger? And I was like, I don't know, I'll give it a try. So I tried it on, and he was like, okay, you can have it. And I was like, okay. I mean, I hope this isn't cursed. You know how like they say that antique stuff might have spirits in it? That's what my husband was joking, is that there's a spirit in this jar. I mean, I don't know, it looks cute. Hopefully the spirit is nice. But yeah, this is the ring that I got. So now I'm saying that this is my DIY ring. Married to the DIY, baby. Also got this like tin picture looking thing. I think this was only $3 when I got it. And then this is an old thrift, but I thrifted this pretty picture frame as well. Also thrifted this beautiful cookie jar looking thing. Has like a blue detail in the center. I think I thrifted this for $15. It's so pretty and very heavy. And then I got lamps. These were $15 a piece. And they're really nice, and they are actually the right size. A little story time with these lamps. I wanted lighting for this area, and I figured like it's either gonna be like sconce on each side, but I wasn't sure how that would look, if it would look too cramped on the wall because of the mirror, or if I wanted lamps. So I was like, okay, let me do lamps. It's easier, I don't have to hardwire anything. Let me do lamps. So I went on Facebook Marketplace, found some pretty lamps for $25 for the set. Girl, tell me why I thought this was gonna be a small lamp. No ma'am, just does not fit. It's too large. I was on the hunt on Facebook Marketplace, and I live in an area that I don't think that a lot of people are like really into these kinds of things. So there's not a lot of stuff that's being sold on Facebook Marketplace. When I went to the thrift store yesterday, that was the main goal, was to find some sort of lighting situation. I didn't even care if it worked or not. I would just rewire it, or I could just use those smart bulbs that are rechargeable. That way I don't have to plug it on in general. But didn't matter, I just needed to find some sort of lamp looking thing. And I really like this one. And I like this because of this dark metal. It matches. Dun, 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 dun. My little runner. Look at that cutie. This is a 2 feet 7 inches by I think like 5 feet something inches. It's like a 3 by 6 basically, if you round it up. It's from IKEA. I wanted like a Persian inspired rug, obviously without the price tag. And initially I was thinking about doing one from Ruggable because it's, you know, it's washable and stuff like that. But it was like $150 for the one that I wanted. And I was not about to shell out that much money for an entryway. I found this one while I was buying the cabinets, and I thought it looked so pretty. So I just placed it there so that it would like open up, but I actually haven't put the anti-slip underneath. I bought this one as well. I think it was like $3 just to help it stay put. What did I think this was gonna be bigger? Oh, I forgot one thing. I also bought this from the thrift store. Ta-da! I don't know what it's for. I think it's for the fireplace. I feel like this has something to do with the fireplace, but I'm gonna use it as an umbrella holder. Before final touches, I actually have one more little DIY, well, one more thing that I wanna spruce up in this house. And that is this door. The more I look at the carpet and the cabinetry and like this whole like vintage inspired things, the white door just does not do it for me. So I'm gonna paint it. And I have this pretty dark brown colored paint that I was gonna use for like this outdoor chair project that I wasn't able to do, and it's Garden Soil by Bear, and I think I want to try it on the door. I mean, if it doesn't look nice, I can always just repaint it back white, but because I already have this in hand, and I actually already tried it on like the little quarter round at the bottom, and it looks nice, so I'm gonna try the whole wall.